waiving the fee. How do we justify one over another? You know, we didn't waive a fee after someone had passed away, and that person was deserving as well. So I don't want there to be any appearance that we're doing favoritism. And I know you've done a ton for the community, as not just the town, but the whole community. And I appreciate that. So I'm not saying that I wouldn't agree to it. I'm just sharing the concerns.
I'll rebut that by saying that had I known that this situation occurred over the last 3 months, a lot of what I had to do is call me or email me or send me a letter. I had no idea this was going on. Well, I think that common courtesy would dictate that you would let a guy know.
Well, currently the town of Pinedale has over 1,200 water and sewer billing accounts, and it's all automated. So generally speaking, the staff doesn't necessarily see. So when you get notification that you are late on your payment, that staff probably doesn't even get notified of that as well, because we have 1,200 accounts and then they're doing everything else. So it's not like somebody's sitting there every single month and saying, oh, Dave's late, because if that were the case.
Well, I wonder if you didn't, is Dave Volchek dead? Did he die?
We've had that happen. We like I said, we had somebody die and they were gone. But to be good,
39 years in this town.
But to be very
clear, a little understanding about that.
I would appreciate if you could let me finish as well. So in the instance when we have a water meter, for example, there are bills being sent every single time. So we have had people die and their family is still responsible for the water bill. So anyhow, council, anybody else have an opinion? I would entertain a motion if the council wants to go there.
I'm seeing a note in here that you do get your billing postcards, but you don't look at them, you throw them away. That would be the place to have seen we're in arrears, right?
Could you speak up?
Sorry. I'm seeing a note in here in our documents that you receive your billing postcards, but you don't look at them and throw them away. That would have been the place.
Because I have auto pay.
Yeah. That would have been the place where the town would have notified it.
Auto pay means automatically paid.
No, I understand. I have auto pay as well, and I look at my statements. So I could go either way on this. I do worry about the making exceptions situation. I've certainly done this. I've certainly done this with my water and sewer with town. Have had a card expire. But you know, saying that we didn't give you a call or we didn't send you a letter is not right, because you just weren't looking at your billing.
That's because I have auto pay.
Well, you did.
But auto pay is not like a one time forever and ever. I mean, even on Amazon, every other system, every other utility, if your credit card gets renewed and the back number 3 digits change or the expiration changes, you just doesn't keep on keeping on.
I didn't have the same trouble with Rocky Mountain Power. When they had my account, it's the same account, and they've had this all along. I think those bills that I thought about due $106.26 bank payment do not pay. They have no problem with this.
Yeah,
they have not.
They'll charge your card differently. I can almost guarantee than what our system does, and that's just this. Like our system is actually probably more secure because of that. Yeah. And I just want to add, Matt and I kind of side conversation there, but. I've been on auto pay myself, and even though it's been on auto pay, my card, change or not change, I've still gotten late fees because of just stuff, and I've just paid it and gone on. I'll go ahead and make the motion, and if it dies because of it's a second, then I can't do anything more. So it's 110.13, is that correct? I move that we waive Mr. Volchek's late fees to the amount of $110.13. Then we'll see how it goes.
All right. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. All right. There's been a move by Councilman Swafford, seconded by Councilman Pasiva. I'm just looking. Oh, okay. To waive $110.13 for Mr. Volchek's late fees. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Aye. Okay, that passes 3-2. There you go, sir.
In more than happy to pay my bill.
No, I know
I
you.
was gonna bring a checkbook here today, but I didn't think we'd
Nope.
get checks.
Yeah, no worries. We're good. Thank you very much.
I want to thank you guys for this, for your understanding, and I certainly will never happen again.
Yeah. All right. Next, any other citizen concerns? Yes, come on up.
Hello.
Hi.
Murdoch, good to see you. Council members, thank you so much. Jennifer Recupero. I am a lovely resident, Pinedale, honored to be. So thank you for all that you do. I also have the honor of walking my dog every day at American Legion Park. And unfortunately, this isn't my first time coming and bringing it up, but there is this orange fence that seems to be a property line. And now it is fallen down and frozen into the actual water. And my biggest concern is that maybe we can make a more permanent help for the situation, because previously when I've asked, it's just been put back up. And I think they're trying to do their best, but it's just not a permanent solution, because I think every couple of months it falls. I myself have tried to do something on our side of things to just prop it back up, because I think the birds and the fish. So I'm just like, I'm not even intelligent in that way, educated in that way, but I can't help but think like this is compromising something as well as just a big plastic thing floating in Pine Creek, not looking good, but also maybe environmentally not great for our water. So I'm coming to just ask for a little support to maybe help in a more permanent way for this fence, for whoever's it is.
Yeah, we've had people floating on that creek who lost their glasses and almost got guillotined by it. So that's a separate even discussion. Ed, do you have an opinion on this? Because I feel like this is a wonderful water right, property right issue.
Plastic snow beds.
Yes.
We don't have any restriction on snow beds. We don't have jurisdiction on flow of Pine Creek, excuse me. We don't have any jurisdiction.
But is there anything about impeding movement down the stream, for example?
Not out of the towns.
Sorry.
Whose jurisdiction, is this a game and fish issue or?
Sheriff, you have an opinion on this one? I bet you do. Okay. Sheriff, go for it.
Yeah, so we've had the same issue on the New Fork River.
Yep.
About people trying to go back up on certain confluence and through private property. And it's, to be honest, I don't know if they ever gave us a clear answer. I know Game and Fish is working with the property owner.
Yeah.
Trying to come up with some solutions about some human game friendly, animal friendly fencing, but I don't know if those have ever been installed or put in place. So
Mr. Jackson, I'm going to call on you because you're my other water stuff.
Not everybody,
Well, yeah, I'll work my way around that. I mean, because I saw your eyebrows going up as well, so.
Fish, you could start. See what. I guess there's a lot of whys, why does it put up that way? So just fit it into the land, see if they can do something different.
Yeah, and truthfully, the idea of having the fence there, I have no problem, because it's not my right to have a problem. It's the fact that it keeps falling in the waterway and floating full on real shallow stream, as we all know, it's going to be even shallower potentially this year. So that's where I come from, is just like a general concern to be like, I want to help, I'm willing to help, but I'm sure I should be doing it in the most proper way possible, which is coming here and bringing it up.
Mm-hmm.
And then saying I'm available if a solution can be found to work with the property owner or whatever. If it's even monitoring it, I'm happy to be that person too.
Well, I mean, yeah, so I just did
It's down.
I just did a quick look. I mean, it is Wyoming game fish law that says you're not allowed to create an obstacle across public waters like that. So I think, I think that's very clear, because we had that issue and we had
It's considered public water.
that is.
Okay.
So I agree. I think we can just ask staff to talk to the owners, because I think there is clearly the concern, to your point, about the plastics in the stream and the fish and all that. But there is also this concern of, these are public waters that kids float, anything on there that could entangle or cause somebody to drown would be probably criminal in some ways, I think. Based on what I'm just looking at on my screen right now. So we don't have anything in town code, to Ed's point. So
yeah.
And the case law provides that the stream is impeded by a fence or a sandbar or whatever.
Right.
Floaters have the right to diverge and go on the bank and go around.
Yeah. Which they would.
Has no jurisdiction whatsoever.
Well, these people lost a couple $100 pair of glasses, which was a real pain in the place.
Well, I just want to make sure it is formally noted that I have no problem with the owner, who I don't know who it is,
No, I did.
property, and I have no problem with the fence. I just want to make sure if I can help it from being floating in the river, that I would love to be. So I just want to make it very clear, because
We get it. No, and I think what I will say, and Amy, would you please direct our municipal officer to go and speak to the owners and explain to them what game and fish law is and what they're required to. I mean, it's one thing if there's like water flowing and, you have some sort of lines to mark your property. I fully get that, but there are certain concerns. So we can just have Michelle just mention that, and we'll see what we can do about it.
And just logically speaking, based on what you had right there, that I was looking at, positioned to look over your shoulder at, if they're that private, then if you're floating, you're allowed to then get out onto private property, right, to get around it. So they're just forcing people into their property in that way. Yeah. So I would think that's an easy.
There are ways to get around this, and I do know that they have a very, they have a beautiful piece of property, and it's a very public park, and so I fully understand why they're trying to put a fence line there. Fully grasp the reasons why. Anyway,
the orange one's not super.
Yeah, invest in something that is a $2 snow fence that.
Yeah, they're not purposely trying to do something, but okay. Yeah. So Amy, we got that? Yep. Okay. Good with that?
I just wanted to say that Kay Buston used to own the property across the creek.
Yeah.
But she's not alive anymore, and I'm not really sure.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
We're fully.
Thank you all so much. I appreciate the.
Thanks for coming in. It's so funny because I was walking through the park with my wife and I saw that very thing, and it's like the little back of my head. It's like, I will look over it right now.
I've been going for 2.5 months and then coming back to it as so. I'm floating in the stream again because Tyler had helped me out previously and getting it up in the council, I believe, as well, getting it up before I left, because I was like, let's get it out of the water before it freezes. And then now we have a frozen fence down and the only flowing water we have.
Yeah, you got lots of microplastics going on.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, any other citizen concerns? None. Thanks for coming.
See you.
Any dog concerns?
Dog park.
Huckleberry lives in town. I do have a couple of items. We're going to talk about the workshop in a bit just to set a date. But I do want to give a call out, a shout out to Maureen. I pulled up the email so I have it. Maureen, if any you didn't see it, she had just received the designation of a certified municipal clerk awarded by the International Institute of Municipal Clerks. So this is actually a fairly big deal. And so we got notification, the state the Clerks Association got an announcement, and so it's been out, but I do want to say that I know she's worked really hard on getting the certification. So big shout out to her. She's not online, but she'll notice it. So anyway, I think that's all I have. Anything else? No.
Yeah.
Good.
I just want to say I went to WAM, the Wyoming Association of Municipalities, last week, and then came home very sick. But week before last. But while I was there, I think the cool thing about going to some of these conferences is you get to mingle with people from all across the state, in different towns and cities. And everybody that I talked to was just really impressed with the leadership that Matt has provided as the WAM president. And everybody I talked to had positive things to say And as we're talking about different things happening in different communities, it was just so clear that we are doing a really good job here. And so kudos to staff. And, it just makes you appreciate it when you can see some of the things other communities are struggling with.
And it's amazing what people will say for a buck.
You gonna give me a buck?
I don't know. I mean, Max will sometimes bring it up, but I did in my last mayor's minute. I think some of the things that we've been working on, business licenses and our gambling ordinances, I think that becomes more apparent why I was pushing some of those things forward, just because we've seen legislation going forward. So I'm really glad the council and the citizens worked with us, because I really think we solved a lot of problems. And I was able to be in a couple of the commissions saying, well, actually, the town of Pinedale has an ordinance on this. And they're like, oh, this is great. And that made a big difference. So I think that was very helpful. So thank you, everybody, for working. We still have a couple of major issues down in Cheyenne right now. Senate File 116 is my greatest concern, just for public record. It's a Title 15, Title 16. And you and I have talked about this before. And one of the clearest, and I didn't remember until just on Saturday, one of the clearest arguments for this debate is actually a court case that was decided in town of Pinedale in 2021 of Cooper versus Pinedale. I don't know if you even remember that. But they are trying to say that anybody who does surface water or stormwater fees is applying a tax. And so there are two lawsuits going on, one from the University of Wyoming and one from an individual in Cheyenne against the city of Laramie and against the city of Cheyenne. And if it's a tax, then the University of Wyoming doesn't pay. So it doesn't seem absolutely fair. And they are trying to push it that anybody who goes into that indebtedness or takes a loan, for instance, would have to go to the vote of the people, which could be turned down. And the slippery slope on that is water and wastewater, as well as surface water. And the state has made it very clear in Title 15 and Title 16, in my humble opinion, that we have a pathway that if we did have to go out and get indebtedness, we would obviously go to the citizens. But it is a major issue that is being debated, and it was settled in 2020 under a court case with the town of Pinedale, which we demonstrated that, we're paying fees and fees are okay. But that is a major issue that could have major repercussions. One draft of the bill had it that people would have to refund all the fees paid, and some cities have been collecting it for 40 years. So go figure. But legislators and other people don't understand surface water, do they? They don't understand that towns like Pinedale get DEQ fines if we don't take care of our surface water the appropriate way. So, or EPA rulers against us. So, anyhow, just a comment. And I know that the citizens of Pinedale have been very concerned about a couple of the property tax and the rec mills that are out there, as well as the fire department. Did you ever get that dealt with? I know they turned you down at that one meeting. Is that
special taxation?
Yeah.
It did come out.
Yeah. Okay. Anyhow, there's a lot of non-budget bills being discussed right now. All right, end of commentary by me. We'll go on to visiting delegations, and we'll begin with Sheriff Lear.
Mr. Mayor, council members, members of the public. We'll start out with the law enforcement report for January. As you can see, the total incidents 444, lots of warnings and lots of citations. Almost half of those superintendent speed zone and failure to yield for pedestrians and crosswalk. So we're really getting the ticket books, hoping to slow some of that down and prevent a future incident. So as far as the calls for service, juvenile problems, mostly kids at Boyd Skinner on the ice on the fish pond. And really concerning because there's open water, the ice is very thin, and just worried somebody's going to break through and go in. We've had four separate calls, four separate incidences where we wouldn't talk to kids, got their parents and say, hey, you can't fish, you can't dance, you can't, you got to get off the ice. So, yeah, so we're, I guess the town municipal officer, any town member seeing kids that are just to warn them. So because the ice isn't good this year at all.
I've politely told a couple of kids to get out.
Good.
I know staff has talked to a couple of kids as well.
Yeah.
All right. I'll try to do so. On the note of Mayor Murdoch and your president position for WAM, I appreciate the legislative updates. Reading paper, the radio. I too will be heading down tomorrow, so I will see you down there probably on Wednesday.
Yeah. Come to our lunch.
We're fighting a couple of Second Amendment Preservation Act bills, one in the House, one in the Senate. It's the first time I've seen both get passed through. I don't know what's going to happen, if they're going to merge at the end or not. But more than likely they're going to get through. I foresee Governor Gordon vetoing it again, but there's a lot of support in both the House and the Senate. And I think it'll get overridden. So it's going to make a big risk for law enforcement in our dealings and cooperation with our federal partners. Everything from BLM, Forest Service, DEA, ICE, ATF, FBI. It's going to create a lot of risk for our task force officers and any of our law enforcement officers when they're dealing with government entity when it comes to seizing an individual's guns. And there's no sheriff, no chief in the state of Wyoming that wants to take away, people's Second Amendment rights. We've got a great Second Amendment Preservation Act that I helped draft back in 2020 that I feel is very strong. It's actually a criminal penalty, but this will really jeopardize and put our officers at risk for civil suit and criminal violations if they support or help a federal agency.
What bills are those, Sheriff?
So the House bill is 130. Senate file is 101.
I've been practicing Lent last week, and I've been practicing acts of kindness. So last week, I purposely was not talking legislation a couple of times and purposely saying, the author of this one bill is one of my act of kindness.
Random acts of kindness are always good.
Exactly.
Yeah, that is all I have for my report. I will stand for any questions. I do have other commitments here at 6. So any concerns on the liquor licensing? I know the one establishment we had trouble with kind of fix themselves, so to speak.
Any other concerns? I think right now we're good.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the one that the one was the big concern. I think that's been dealt with.
Okay, sounds good.
Any other questions?
Offer my help on the fence on Pine Creek too. I know we've dealt with them quite a bit more on the trespassing side.
Yes.
And I think that's the reason why.
Yeah.
Lots of people think that they can just walk up and fish past the fence, and so.
That's beautiful, and some people don't even realize that that's private property.
Well, and don't realize the rules and regulations of Wyoming that you can't walk up the bank.
Stay out the water.
Yeah.
Or stay out of the soil. Great.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right. Next, we'll have Mr. Cooper. Chief Cooper.
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, appreciate your time on the agenda. To echo the comments from the good sheriff, I too very much appreciate Mayor Murdoch's leadership with WAM and the ability to participate in some of your meetings and learn from some of the concerns that the other towns have and to Council Boyce's comments earlier. I heard the exact same comments, and there's definitely some communities in the rest of the state of Wyoming that take note of what Pinedale has, and appreciate that. And I hear it from other fire chiefs in the country or in the state as well.
So it's all for one for all, right? So yeah.
All right, well, I'm here to give the annual report. So instead of just the 1 month, I'll give 12 months worth of report. So you guys should have the handout in your packets, I assume?
Yep.
So I'll be kind of brief. Please stop me if you have any questions. I'll just kind of peruse the 30,000 foot level on these numbers. So for emergency incidents, we had 284 emergencies, fire-related emergencies in the county last year. That's up from 259, total of 25 additional, so about 10% up from the previous year. It's ballpark math. In Pinedale specifically, there was 122 incidents last year. Moving down, there was 9 fire investigations. Again, state statute requires anytime we have a fire that we have to do an investigation, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you need to mobilize the entire investigation team. So what that means is there was nine times that we mobilized the investigation team to go out and look at something more than was just an easy determination from the company officer. That's actually up a little bit from the previous years too. For fire prevention, though, that's one thing that's near and dear to my heart. I really do think that if we can prevent a fire, we're much better served. That's one thing I've put a tremendous amount of effort into over the years, and I think we've had a lot of success with. Because we don't do a lot of code enforcement in Suffolk County, every little bit helps. And if we can install smoke detectors in people's homes, it's a small thing, but it's something I think is very, very important. So last year we installed 49 different smoke detectors, 6 carbon monoxide detectors. And those are, we have a program at the fire department where our firefighters will actually come install those detectors for people at no cost. And if somebody can't afford to purchase their detector, there's no obligation, but if they want to, then all that does is the money goes back in the pot to buy another smoke detector for somebody down the road. Just kind of pass it forward to somebody that needs it later on. So it's been a kind of a self-sustaining program, but it's been something that's supported by the county commissioners, and we've been able to maintain for many years now. There was also, in addition to the 49 that were installed, our firefighters went out and tested 46 smoke alarms and found them to be in good working order, did not need to be replaced. Same thing, 8 carbon monoxide detectors were tested and found to be good in working order. And there was actually two of them that just needed batteries replaced. Pretty simple and happy to do that. Then in addition to that, we had 3 school presentations, 164 students were in attendance. That was both when I was in Big Piney, Bonnarant, and in Pinedale. 2 preschool presentations and 2 senior citizen, the Summit Center and the Aspen Grove, help me out, the senior center here.
Project Point.
Heritage.
Thank you. Yeah. We were able to present during some activity day or engaging their communities. Moving on to another thing that's near and dear to me is I really do feel like one of the reasons why we have a very safe organization is because we emphasize training so clearly to our firefighters. So last year, in addition to all the entry-level training that every firefighter has to complete, above and beyond that, there were 38 state-issued qualifications for hazmat awareness, hazmat operation, hazmat technician, firefighter 1, firefighter 2, fire officer 1, 2, fire instructor, pump operator. These are all nationally recognized qualifications. We train the same way in California and New York and Wyoming. And our firefighters in Suffolk County Unified Fire were able to obtain those additional qualifications. In addition, they also obtained 9 new wildland fire qualifications for firefighter type 2, type 1, incident commander, and unit boss. In total, we issued 40 red cards, actually 43. 40 were arduous firefighters, 3 were for non-arduous. And then for training last year, we provided 159 training classes for a little over 3,000 hours of training. And then moving down to health and safety. This is something, last year we did actually have to activate our citizen team in alignment with Veterans Talking to Veterans and Suffolk County Wellness and Prevention Coalition. We had a tragic loss of one of our members to suicide last year, and it definitely impacted the organization and just some support for our members and try to make sure that the survivors, the family members were taken care We conducted SCBA fit testing. That's an OSHA requirement that every firefighter that wears an SCBA, their mask has to be fit tested for the shape of their face and make sure that they get a good seal and there's no inhalation gases. So every firefighter was fit tested. And in addition, 63 of our firefighters completed actual physical exams with our medical director. Moving on to community activities, 982 volunteer hours. What that is in addition to emergency responses and training, these are just community activities. Every time you see the firefighters out doing anything, a parade or Halloween event or maybe rendezvous or something like that, we actually try to log those hours and track those. And so there was 982 hours of just community events that our firefighters logged last year. And then this is new. Last year I was successful in obtaining a grant, and I'll explain that in a moment when we get to the grant section. We hired a new wildland urban interface coordinator, as Councilman Pasiva had mentioned before the meeting started. Her name's Josie Villette, and she's just been an absolute rock star and a tremendous asset. She brings a lot of experience and just a go-getter attitude to the organization. I couldn't be happier to have her with us. And she's only been with us since August, and it's just absolutely made a huge difference in our level of preparedness and our level of engagement with our community to be able to specifically address wildland fire prevention. So earlier I was talking about structural fire prevention and some of the activity we do. Now we're really able to focus on wildland fire prevention. And so since August, she's completed 13 wildland fire risk assessments for individual property owners. She's presented 2 different conferences in Summit County. She's held 2 different public meetings for some homeowners associations. And then she's written 1 landscape mitigation prescription. That's just the tip of the iceberg of what she's been working on already since the beginning of the new year. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what she can do to help reduce the risk of catastrophic wildland fire in Summit County and to minimize the frequency, severity, intensity, duration of wildland fires. And really the ultimate goal we're trying to get to is to minimize the impact to our community members and the whole of the county. And Pinedale is not isolated. We got work to do in Pinedale to reduce risk as well.
Yeah.
Moving down, wildland fires in the county. Our firefighters responded to, we suppressed 216 acres of wildland fire on private property last year. That's actually up a little bit from normal years. But in addition to that, our firefighters assisted our federal agencies for 22,200 acres of fires on the Horse Creek Fire, the Dollar Lake Fire, and a few other smaller fires. So our wildland fire risk is pretty substantial, and firefighters do a great job of engaging and helping reduce that. In addition, federal fire deployments, we only sent out 2 deployments last year. 6 firefighters were deployed. $104,000 was paid as pass-through funds from the federal government to the county, and then immediately to the firefighters. And then down in the bottom, you'll see there was actually $35,000 that we charged for the use of the wildland fire apparatus. That then comes back, and we can put that to our capital appreciation reserve towards the purchase of future wildland fire trucks, so that we don't need to tax to purchase those needs. And moving on to the grants, there was several grants that we applied for. Unfortunately, we were unsuccessful on several of those. I already list them out. One thing I did, I added a bullet to my note to myself. The Colorado River Sustainability Campaign awarded $127,000 to Summit County, and that was specifically for us to hire the wildland urban interface mitigation coordinator that I mentioned earlier. They've also given us a verbal commitment that they want to be a partner with Summit County and continue to fund us in the future and to assist landowners to reduce hazardous fuels in Summit County. I'm going to breeze through the rest of this. Just wanted everybody to know that maintenance is a big part of what we do in Summit County Unified Fire. This is actually a new category. So, we do DOT inspections, we do pump testing, we do aerial ladder testing, SCBA breathing air compressor quality and assurance of the quality of our breathing air, but also that our SCBAs work every time they're needed. All of our hydraulic tools get tested every year, and that's really a big part of our Deputy Chief Claudianos' job, is to make sure that every single time that that there's an emergency, that the public can rely on the fire department, that our truck's going to start, that our equipment's going to work, and that our firefighters know how to use it, and that it's all dependable. So we put a lot of effort into maintenance and preventative maintenance. I don't want to belabor the rest of the report, but if you have any questions about the types of incidents that we go to, or frequency of where those incidents occur at, or types of trainings that we offer, that's all included in the report. Happy to stand and answer any questions.
One of the things that I always think, Chief Cooper, is between you and also Sheriff Blair, is just the level of professionalism that you both have brought to these departments. And, your reports are always long and detailed, and there's nothing wrong with that. I do appreciate you going through it, but the fact that it's recorded, that you have the statistics, that you have the data, that you're doing the training really sets you apart, knowing what I know about the rest of the state. So just thank you for that. You don't have to apologize for any of that, because we're grateful that you dot your I's and cross your T's and make sure masks fit to people's faces, because those are the things that are going to make the difference between life and death and fast response. So just wanted to say thank you for that, because I know that's sometimes an ungrateful job. Anybody questions or comments?
Just a comment, again, related to the WHAM conference. It was so nice to be down there and see familiar faces like yours, active and, testifying in front of the legislature and being involved like that. And on our last day, we had lunch, and there was a group of firefighters from Cheyenne that were a full-time crew, and they happened to sit at the table I was at, and we had a really nice long conversation about fire. And I just thought, this is a full-time paid crew, and they're doing amazing stuff, but we're doing amazing stuff too. And for a volunteer group, I was so impressed, and just the opportunity to see, we stand up to the standard of a full-time department, and that says a lot for the people that are involved. So please thank everybody for the work they do.
Thank you. I've actually got our command staff right now.
A couple comments from me, Chief. One, in my day job, we work very closely with a federal partner, and post Dollar Lake, I have heard numerous positive things about the efforts of the county, particularly on the initial attack for Dollar Lake. And when I talk to anybody across the Bridger Teton in particular, there is always a lot of respect paid towards you and the operation that you're running here. So kudos to that. That's, again, a huge, tremendous asset to the town and the county. And we were talking about this before the meeting, but I had the privilege of having lunch with Ms. Villette last week. And, the compliment that she brings to your department, I think, is just tremendous. And one of the things that you did not mention in here, but I see a lot, is her efforts in kind of reinvigorating the Sublet Forest Collaborative. And it's been fantastic to see the potential projects that are coming out of that, and getting those to a point where all the cats are herded. There's some consensus on what are the priorities, and now how do we move forward with funding these and actually starting to tackle these priorities. And that's a lot of cooks in the kitchen. That's been a long, I worked on the Grays River Collaborative for the last several years. It's a challenge, but what Ms. Villette has done in 4 or 5 months is just really, it's laudable. So yeah, kudos to you and your entire department. It's fantastic.
Kudos.
If I may.
Yes, of course.
There's a couple of things I think the council should be aware of. First of all, Chief Cooper did write a strong letter of support to our recent grant application for the fire suppression and our storage tank out at the airport, including a letter from Mr. Cooper and citations to their 2022 master plans and other things that I think will help. I forget the exact number, but it's like 1,700 addresses are within the 5 mile buffer.
750 addresses.
Sorry, that's cool. You're right. I got a little mixed up there, but 700 addresses that are impacted by that may, I don't know if it will necessarily could possibly reduce insurance premiums for those folks, but also give them a better
a better resource or another resource in fighting those fires. So that's definitely a community effort to try to get that done out there. Appreciate Chief Cooper's supporting that. And then also Josie, I can't ever remember her name, I'm sorry. She, Chelsea and I, about a month back, about the, they've been working on a response plan, and for specifically wildfires in Suffolk County, but also for transient stays. And so we've been able to incorporate that into our STRs and get the information so they can be posted in STRs in Pinedale. And then with the development of our business licensing, we will be able to require that that's posted in the website or within hotels in Pinedale. So that all the stuff that should there be a communication for evacuation in our community, that those are in places that they wouldn't have been before. Yeah. So
good job.
Thank you very much. It's everybody's feedback and thanks for the recognition. It's really to the firefighters. It's my great privilege to be able to be part of such an amazing team. It really means a lot to me to be able to pass that feedback back to them, and I'm exactly that. Thanks for all your positive comments, and thanks for all your support. It's always a pleasure working with you.
Great.
All right, get out of here.
Thank you. Sorry, legislature. All right. They don't go to sleep. All right. Stay awake. Did everybody see that one legislator that passed out on Saturday?
So he didn't eat his Wheaties.
Yeah. Anyway.
the news.
Yeah, did it? Okay. All right, next item is our Sage and Snow Garden Club Contract for Services presentation. Nicole?
Hi.
Hey, you go.
Thanks, everybody, for having us. I'm Nicole Field, the president of the Sage and Snow Garden Club. And we have Michelle Helm. She's a garden club member, but her and her family have also watered the flower barrels every summer for many, many years.
Well done. Thank you.
So we wanted, as representing the club, we wanted to thank you for all your support over the years. And we're just asking again for this summer, the same amount of funding to provide our watering services and the use of the town truck for the watering. But everything's the same as it has been in the past.
Thank you. Revenues are down, so it's nice.
Our costs are going up.
Yeah, I know. I noticed your little federal evaluation of volunteer hours in there. It's like, yeah, no, and that's legit. Honestly, it is. So it is good. And maybe at the end of the day, you just have to charge more to the business owners or something.
Yeah, and we look at that. It's been 3 or 4 years since we raised costs.
And really, $45 for
I know.
one of those beautiful barrels.
And they water it all.
And it's water. Steal a deal.
Yeah, we'll definitely look at it next year.
Yeah.
It's one of the things that makes Pinedale look so nice in the summer.
Yeah.
Honestly.
That's a huge difference.
Yeah, it's vital, I think.
Are there any questions? This isn't the consent agenda, so we do not need a motion at the point in time. Does everybody, any questions
Oh,
on
I
this?
have a burning question. What color are the flowers this year?
Red, white, and blue.
Oh, nice. Going to the theme.
And how many are you planning for this year?
Still around 250. It changes. I mean, we don't know much over. I think last year we did 260, so it stays around that number depending. But that's about all we can fit.
Yeah.
In our 2 group houses.
I know, it's amazing. You guys work really hard on that. So. All right, any questions? I think we have it pretty well lined out. So between the funding as well as an agreement around the watering truck. So it all works, right? Amy, Abe? Yes, sir.
The only thing I would add, Mr. Mayor, is if in the consent agenda, we can amend the MOU to include that free water out of the water station that we did last year, just so the motion's in one place and we're not coming back for additional motion. That way they can fill the truck up at the water station. I should have caught that before. I didn't.
It's in our written. All personnel identified by Sage and Snow to use town watering truck and fill up said truck at town fill-up station.
Yeah.
Is that enough?
It needs to be free.
Yes.
All right, when we get to this point, we will pull the Sage and Snow MOU from the consent agenda because it will require action. So.
And we will change that next.
Good catch.
Just over.
Or else we'd be back to you.
No, I like it. Let's
Yeah,
do it.
okay, by the way. Yeah.
deal with it.
That's what we did last year too, wasn't it? Yeah.
All right, any questions for Nicole? Other than, again, applaud. Thank you.
Thank you guys, I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
All right, next item on the agenda is a public hearing. So I declare this now as a public hearing regarding liquor licenses. This is in particular for the, hey, I'm looking at hoop houses.
34.
Hey. 34. Oh, way out. This is for a liquor license for the different addresses that are listed here. We did receive the certificate of insurance from, who did we get that from? Amy? Bourbon Ridge Holdings, DBA Country Liquor. So I think all other documents have been submitted.
Yes.
In conform. Any other concerns that we need to put the sheriff on? Ed, any concerns here?
As long as they bounce back from the state with their approval, I'm seeing no issues at this point.
All right. Then, is there any public comment about the liquor licenses that we're about to renew? Yes. Yes.
Is there a limit to how many people in Pinedale can get a liquor license?
Yes.
Good, thanks.
Yeah, we are limited both on retail and all the liquor licenses are limited by population. So I think we currently might, they're all taken up. There was one that was free that got taken up. So any comments or questions about this? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I move to approve all the liquor license applications, including the following liquor license holders that have applied for renewal for the period of April 1st, 2026 through March 31st, 2027. Do I still need to read them and their addresses? Okay. First, for the retail liquor license, sorry, this will be a long one. Bourbon Ridge Holdings Incorporated, DBA Country Lane Liquors at 1190 West Pine Street. Bosner Inc., DBA Corral Bar at 30 West Pine. Cowboy Bar of Pinedale Inc., 104 West Pine. Four Peaks Operations LLC, DBA Pinedale Sinclair, 1088 West Pine. Ridley's Family Markets, 341 East Pine. Stockman's Saloon and Restaurant, 117 West Pine. Limited retail liquor license, the VFW 4801 at 1033 West Pine. Microbrewery liquor license, Wind River Brewing Company Incorporated, 402 West Pine. Restaurant liquor license, China Gourmet Incorporated, 44 West Pine. Z&C LLC DBA The Patio Grill, 35 West Pine. Godino's Incorporated, DBA The Wrangler Cafe, 905 West Pine. Old Stone Smokehouse and Country Pizza LLC, 4 Country Club Lane. Graze and Go Catering Company LLC, 1424 West Pine. Tina Guerrero L Incorporated, DBA Los Cabos Mexican Restaurant, 120 West Pine. And Bar and Grill liquor license, Wind River Brewing Company Incorporated at 402 West Pine.
Okay. Been moved by Councilman Swofford. Is there a second?
Second.
Amy, can you confirm that all of them have done tips training and submitted all their documents for that?
Yes, I have.
All right. It's been moved and seconded to approve the liquor licenses as stated by Councilman Swofford for the period of April 1st, 2026 through March 31st, 2027. Hearing no other comments, I'll take a motion. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed, abstentions? Aye. All right, that's 401. All right. Next item is our consent agenda. As discussed, I am going to ask that we remove the State of Snow Garden Club MOU from this, and we'll just put it, if everybody's okay, can we just put that as item 1 on, just slide it in front of the professional water? And we can deal with it real quick. Any other comments? This is park use for the Southern County Library, pretty straightforward. We have the temporary use for the Foundation 23, shallow water main project change order number 3, as well as the shallow water main final payment, and the Wood River Resource First Edition voided the preliminary plat of acceptance. Anything that people wish to discuss? Hearing Hearing none, may I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I move we approve the consent agenda as published.
Take out F1.
Take out F1. Yeah, thank you.
Have a second?
Yeah, that was my second.
Moved by Councilman Loftus, seconded by Councilman Swafford, to approve the consent agenda with minus the Sage and Snow Garden Club. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed? That motion carries.
I'm going to abstain from this.
Yeah,
one.
okay, that abstention.
Yeah,
So that'll be 4-0-1. Thank you. That's a good point. All right, we're going to go back to the Sage and Snow. Straightforward. We just want to make certain that we've included in the water would be free. So I can have a motion to approve the MOU of Sage and Snow for the amount of $5,325, including the truck as well as free water from the fill station.
Yeah, we just said we count for.
Yeah.
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
Second.
It's moved and seconded to approve the 2026 memorandum of understanding with Sage and Snow, water in the flower barrels on Pine Street, in the amount of $5,325, and allowing pre-approved Sage and Snow volunteers to use the town water truck and get water for free from the town fill station. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries 5-0. Next, we're going to go to G, well, what is now going to be G2. My apologies, Amy. Throwing you off there, haven't I? You probably would have rather have kept that MOU there, but oh well. G2, G1, otherwise known as. This is our Professional Water and Wastewater Operators Week proclamation. The governor has given this, and we also generally are very grateful for our water and wastewater operators. So if somebody would not mind reading that, we will then approve it, and I will sign it at the appropriate time.
I'll read it.
Thank you.
Proclamation. Pinedale Professional Wastewater Operator Week, February 23rd through the 27th, 2026. Whereas Pinedale's certified drinking water treatment, drinking water distribution, and wastewater collection and wastewater treatment operators are professionals that perform a vital service for our town. And whereas Pinedale's professional operators protect public health by removing contaminants from our drinking water, delivering safe drinking water to our taps, efficiently delivering wastewater to treatment facilities and correctly treating wastewater. And whereas Pinedale's professional operators preserve high quality of Wyoming's lakes, rivers, and streams by ensuring the proper treatment of wastewater. And whereas Pinedale professional operators properly operate and maintain water and wastewater equipment and facilities, ensuring the longevity of one of Pinedale's largest infrastructure investments. And whereas clean, safe drinking water and our pristine natural environment is central to our quality of life and Pinedale's future. And whereas it is fitting to recognize and honor the work of professional operators in protecting the public's health, our environment and water resources, and the water and wastewater infrastructure of Pinedale. Now, therefore, Mr. Mayor Murdoch, the town of Pinedale do proclaim the week of February 23rd through February 27th, 2026 as Pinedale Professional Water and Wastewater Operator Week, and further extend appreciation to our Public Works water and wastewater employees, Spencer Hartman, Ron Hansen, Gracie Carpenter, Skylar Hatley, and Kai Genst, and all of the water and wastewater operators for the vital services they perform and their exemplary dedication to the communities they represent. Stated this 23rd day of February 2026.
Moved by Councilman Loftus, seconded by Councilman Loftus. Swafford. Boom, boom. First. And I think, for what it's worth, Abe, as Director of Public Works, your name should be included in here. I know, but you don't see it. So we appreciate that. And your leadership and Spencer's leadership and the hard work of everybody really makes a difference. And as I said, I don't think many people recognize how complicated an order this is. And the hours and the weekends that these guys work. It's a big thank you to them. Please pass it on. Moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed, that motion carries. All right, next item, G3, this is our priorities workshop discussion. That's not really a discussion. We need to pick a date. As you know, we are probably going to get a presentation very soon from the 501c6 that is pushing, going to promote the fifth penny. And I think one of the things as we move forward towards a fifth penny general purpose tax is that if we can let citizens know maybe where that $1 million would be spent from that fifth penny, would help them to understand why voting for it is important. And I don't think we can make that decision until we narrowed and talked about our priorities. So I know some of you have already seen the sheets. I'd like to pick a date that we could talk about it as a workshop. It shouldn't take but a couple of hours. I'd say 2 at most. And we can do it in the evening or we can do it during the day. I will be in Cheyenne Wednesday and Thursday of this week. I will be in Cheyenne most of next week. And I have asked the 501c6 to come in on the 9th. Not that we have to give an answer for them on the first meeting in March. But that would be, good. And then I will be in Washington, D.C. for a conference for the National League of Cities on the 15th. So I'm looking forward to a downtime. Cool. So
maybe the question is, when will you be in town?
So we could do this week, or we could shoot for, or we could do it after and we don't have to have an answer for them on the March 9th. I just asked them, they wanted to come and speak to us. And I think we can at least hear their presentation and how they're finding the petition moving forward and how they're finding the discussion of what people are saying. If we had to, I'm okay with doing it the week of the 9th if we'd like to, because next week is going to be impossible. Otherwise, it has to be Thursday or Friday of this week, or Friday of this week.
I have work obligations that I'll be out of Pinedale for on Thursday and Friday.
Okay, so how about we shoot the week of the 9th? Is everybody good for that?
Yeah, I could do the 11th or potentially the 13th, but the 11th would be ideal.
Wednesday, the 11th. Does that work for people?
Daytime or evening?
Yeah, would you prefer?
Any time.
You have a job that
I do have a job.
Scott and I have we can.
Yeah, I could do the evening on the 11th. I'll be out of town kind of the rest of those days that week.
There's one in the evening. Well, I'd rather we did it during the day if it was possible, towards either the beginning of the day or the end of the day, so staff doesn't have to come in after hours.
Yeah, I can do it.
Andy likes hanging out here. I drive by and the lights are on and she's working away. Got a security camera now, so like 3. I'm good with 3. I really think we're looking at 90 minutes to 120 max. We've done this before, so this should be. And then we won't necessarily be voting at this one. I just want to kind of finalize the priority list, give everybody a few days to finish the vote on that, and then we'll bring that together for consolidation and discussion. You good for 3 o'clock on Wednesday?
I am good.
Are you okay for 3 o'clock?
I can make it work.
3 o'clock. Yes, I'll be here. All right, so Amy, we will go ahead and choose 3 o'clock on the 11th for a town workshop. Ed, I'll free you. You don't need to come. This is not necessarily anything illegal. He'll email.
Yeah, made me nervous.
Emails me.
He'll be there now.
All right, so we're going to say 3 to 5, and Amy, if you would advertise that appropriately. Abe, it would probably be good if you or Chelsea were there, or Chelsea, just because there might be a few things that you want to present from your side of the house. Yep. All right, any further questions about that? Thank you, everybody, for doing it. Appreciate you working around my schedule as well. All right, that is set on my calendar. It's locked in there. Next item, G4. This is the commercial building permit application for 1133 West Pine Street. I gotta tell you, every single time I see that address, I'm like, what building is that? And then I'm like, oh, that's right. It's High Country Suites, which is no longer the High Country Suites. It's gonna have a new name and a new front. And it's super exciting. Abe, would you like to begin, or should we let the applicant begin?
I will introduce it and then you can turn it. There is members representing the applicant here tonight that can do a better job than I. We did receive a commercial building permit for Pinedale Suites LLC located at the High Country Suites upon remodeling would be known as the White Pine Adventure Inn. The plans are included in, I pick and chose a few of the sheets out of the plan set. I just don't have the entire plan set because I can't get it to fit in your agenda packet. But the general scope of work is a completion of the site, including kind of an overhaul of the parking area, inclusion of quite a bit of landscaping, and a significant improvement on their stormwater retention on site. And then there's a new, I'm going to butcher porte cochere, that's how you say it, porte cochere, a new porte cochere, and a remodel inside of the building. The remodel is primarily opens up the front end. They're adding a game room and a bigger dining area and converting some spaces from office, et cetera. Inside of the building, they've already received their state fire marshal approval, which is included in their application and shown on the cover page of their plan set. Mr. Mayor, we've reviewed it from staff standpoint. We did have a couple of conditions that you'll see in my motion, recommended motion inside the agenda packet. However, the applicant has already addressed all of those issues inside of those conditions, so I would change my recommendation to approval as submitted.
All right, thank you. Any questions for staff before we? Mr. McMiller, I like David. David, come on up. I was trying to go ahead and introduce yourself to the council. I will state I'm very grateful for the owner working with the town of Pinedale so well. We have had very good conversations. People don't know it's Mr. Ricketts, and he's been very helpful, and we're happy with White Pine working as well as them. So I just want to publicly say thank you and thank you to him as well. That doesn't get said enough. I wanted you to hear it from us. So why don't you go ahead and, I mean, it's pretty straightforward, but.
Yeah, my name is David McElroy. I'm president of Wyoming Management, which is Joe Ricketts' Wyoming. We've presented a remodel for High Country Suites that we will be rebranding as the White Pine Adventure Inn to co-brand it with the ski area that Mr. Ricketts bought 2 years ago. We're going to have a whole new face on the front of the hotel. So all new landscaping, new water retention, new porte cochere, a new bus system that'll take us up to the ski area and community members as well. Put into there. And then inside, we're converting the guest rooms, upgrading all the guest rooms throughout. We're adding, when Halliburton built it, they didn't build it with a food and beverage component in there. And then later, when they tried to kind of switch over to transient lodging, they took the general manager's apartment upstairs and turned that into food and beverage, which is very unique to a hotel to have a third floor breakfast experience. Right? Every time I go in there, where's breakfast? Where's breakfast? So we're going to move that downstairs. That's going to take us moving out a couple of guest rooms on either side. So we're going to lose keys. Right now we have about 100 keys. We're going to have 88 keys, 86 keys right in there. And then we're going to put a treatment room in there. We've been talking with some massage therapists here in town that are going to offer massage treatments there for our guests after skiing. So it's very exciting.
And locals as well. Yeah.
Yes, right. So it's a big lift. Mr. Ricketts spent quite a bit on the property and he's doing quite an improvement from a price standpoint on the property. That shows his investment in Pinedale, our investment in Pinedale. We believe that White Pine Ski Resort is going to work, and we believe the hotel is going to work together.
Well, like I said, we're grateful. Any questions or comments from council?
Mr. Mayor, I'm in support of this, but I will abstain from this vote.
Okay, understandable. Okay. Any other?
Well, my only thought, I love everything about what you've got planned here and the pictures that we have and everything. My only thought is I wonder if 4 trailer accessible parking spots is going to be enough. But it seems like you have plenty of parking, and if people have to park across a few, it's probably not the end of the world.
That's big. We have good parking in the back for the trailers, especially the fly fishers.
Yeah,
kind of park back there. And then if you'll see like Liberty and stuff, pulling trailers, they're going to get about the spot. I think code is 0.5 parking spots per room for double.
Yeah, I noticed that you had plenty. So that's my only thought. I think it looks wonderful. I'm excited to see when it's finished.
Are you going to be providing, I mean, because Sage and I attended I forget what meeting, who it was, an EV charging?
She's looking into that. So there's some grant money.
Right.
That's floating around right now from the Volkswagen settlement.
Yes. And there's the Teton, I forget who it was that we were talking
right.
to.
So we're looking at putting a charge station in the back. We're not quite there yet. Okay.
I was just wondering, not that it has to be declared in the plan, but I just thought, I know we're having more and more EVs come through. despite what people may or may not like, but they're coming, and I like them to be able to come here. So
Yeah, right here was one more.
yeah, exactly. All right. Any other questions? No, super excited. How long is it going to take you to get it done?
So we'll start March 16th. Our estimated completion date is October 1st. Mr. Ricketts is about to go down the week of October, or August 1st. He's about to go down the week of August 16th, so I better be done.
So that's inside and out?
Inside for sure, outside I'll take.
Okay.
It'll be guest ready inside.
Nice.
So
Are you going to do an open house?
Yes, so we've already worked with the chamber to do ribbon cutting, whatever they're using.
That's convenient, but you could work with the chamber on that.
Yeah, the GMs. But yeah, it'll be exciting. And we're working with teletractors locally to do the front and all the work out.
Cool, fantastic. All right, I think that's all the questions I have. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
If there's not any other questions, I would entertain a motion.
And you can ignore the motion in the package.
Yeah, I think we can approve it as is, correct?
They have adjusted the biggest comment we had was an ADA spot that was flopped. They fixed it. We have a new site plan. It makes sense. So. Okay.
I move that we approve a commercial building permit pursuant to subsection 160-10C2 submitted by Pinedale Suites LLC for remodeling and site improvements at 1133 West Pine.
I'll second that.
All right, it's been moved by Councilman Swafford, second by Councilman Loftus to approve a commercial building permit pursuant to chapter 160-10C2 submitted by Pinedale Suites LLC for remodeling and site improvements at 1133 West Pine Street. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed and abstentions. Aye. 401. Thank you. All right, we got page 83 if anybody wants to know. Sutherland County. Thanks, guys. You can see you around. All right. Next item is going to be what's going to become G5, right? I'm trying to name this, remember this properly for help out here. I know, sorry.
Didn't do yourself any favors.
Okay. G5, Sutherland County School District number 1, utility easement right-of-way discussion. We have gone, as many of you know, we are in the discussion of doing some work at the pond, and Abe did a presentation and then had a discussion with the school board. There are more buildings, especially with the new CTE building. It would really make sense to make this a public road that becomes managed and frankly owned by the town. To one sense, I'd rather we didn't, because this is now maintenance costs that we're going to have to pick up and otherwise the school would pay. But since we are using it and since we do have the input or the operating structure in place, it makes sense for us to take this over. Abe had a meeting with the school board. I'm going to let you ahead and take it from here and you can discuss.
It was there as well. So
oh,
nice.
Thank you.
Support of Mr. Wood at the meeting. And there's really 3 primary items. I did my best in the map and your agenda to kind of sketch out all the different things that need to happen. Number 1 is we just got to clean up the utility easements. When the town got the utility easements back when we did the water main loop, the easement is there, but the water line is not inside of the easement. I don't know. My guess is some discussion during construction. They said, well, let's shift it, and the paperwork never followed suit. I don't know. I don't know the details. And then when we adopted the sewer main in 2018 or 19, at the time that was built, it was just a private sewer main. The town now owns and operates that sewer main as shown in the green hatch, but we've never got a formal easement for the sewer main itself. And then the water mains, with the CTE building, they've installed 2 hydrants, of which we've asked that we own up to the hydrant. That way they're not owning and operating a hydrant. They don't maintain them the same way that we do. And it allows us operational efficiencies, like how we keep our water clean and et cetera. So in order for the town to recommend the town council to take over that infrastructure as town, we would need those blue easements in place. And then obviously the conversation on the public road. Should that be a public road? Should it not? In my belief, the orange, the green, and the blue on your map must happen no matter what happens with the right-of-way discussion. In my discussions with Gerald Flukinger and Doug Mason, I think Gerald Flukinger is very open to the discussion of this right-of-way makes sense for our community, for the school district. It's just a liability for them more than anything. And the public does use it. They did quiz us a little bit. Is there a catch? Is there something the town's trying to do? And I don't know of any catch. I don't know of anything that we're trying to do. We're trying to do what's in the best interest of the public. There were a little bit of concerns that this is a lot of easement and eats up a lot of surface area. But at the end of the day, it's already a road. It's eating, like the infrastructure is already eating up that space. This is just the word that says the infrastructure is actually there. They have asked that we present to the school board on March 9th, which is the same meeting as the town council meeting here. Their meeting starts much later than ours. And I certainly can peel away from there to go give an introduction to the school board.
Chelsea
Send Chelsea. Probably stands a better chance of getting across to that idea. But I don't know if I would help you. So for the discussion though, I have, before that meeting, we had 2 months to try to organize. Mr. Flukinger and Doug Mason were a bit concerned who's responsible for the costs of all this paperwork and the easements and the survey language. And I think there's a fair discussion. I think the blue is certainly the responsibility of Sublette County School District #1, as we don't need to adopt that infrastructure without it. The green and orange, there could likely be a discussion between the school and the town of how did that get screwed up? Do we have some joint responsibility to fix that? And obviously the purple could land either way. They weren't saying what they wanted, what they didn't. They just asked the question. I asked Jorgensen Associates, who is helping them as the CTE engineer, to develop a scope of work that highlights each of those separate so that you guys can look at it March 9th before the school board meeting and see what those costs are to file that paperwork. My hunch is all of this work combined is likely somewhere between $5,000 and $10,000 to get it over the finish line and recorded at the county.
My take on that would be just share it. There's no reason we're going to share our cell tower. We're sharing the school, the fields. I mean, I feel like the school board would probably be like, that's fair, right?
Right. And I'm happy to present that. I was hoping to get the cost to bring to you guys. I don't have them yet. I will hopefully have them on March 9th. I was just kind of hoping to not do everything on March 9th. Give you guys an introduction, opportunity to give us direction as staff of what to do or how you'd like us to proceed so that we'll kind of bring this to a point on March 9th. We're heading in the same direction.
What time? They meet at 7?
Theirs is, I believe it starts at 6:30.
Okay, well, if we're done, I'll go over with you. Otherwise, you'll probably have to.
And they did mention they could move this up on the agenda. We would have to wait for the last.
Might be the whole compromise. That's a big deal.
All right. Any other comments? Is everybody comfortable with this? I mean, obviously staff is moving forward on it because I've instructed them to move forward. This makes sense. Yeah. There's no reason why this shouldn't be.
I did tell them they could name the road. We said developers always going to name the road. We just approved the road. So if they decided that they did want to give the purple, they could have a discussion of what they wanted to name that. And
so out of curiosity though, would the north purple would have a name, but then you also have like
Wilson Street.
So Wilson's going to go east-west, so they're only going to name the north-south one.
How about Mount Vernon Street?
No. No.
We thought since it's a school, we were.
I guarantee you, for the school board, probably we've had enough disagreements. Like the school board and I respect each other, but I seem to always bother them. So it's like.
We were joking that if we let the high schoolers or the school district decide, it'd probably end up 6-7 Avenue or something like that.
Roadie McRoadface.
That's what I was. I think let them name it contest. So East-West will just be the Wilson Street. They can name it.
No,
it's like 100 feet.
I know. Yeah.
There's new stuff now, man.
All right. Any 6-7? Is everybody good with this? I don't think there's a decision that has to be made here. It's just, yes, let's proceed. Let's see the costs. My ask would be like, let's just split it because that's kind of what we're doing on everything on this project. And it just seems like we're working well together. So
be good partners.
Yeah. Okay. Ed, you comfortable with all that?
Yes, the conversation was very, very even keel. The only thing where there might be a snag is on the roadway. it makes sense, but sometimes making sense doesn't.
Well, I would,
The only thing that really is correct, that really are critical to be done is correct those easements. So
yeah.
the easements are where the utilities are.
The utility is actually inside the easement, that would be useful. I was gonna say, I think if you could also plan on attending whatever time that is, just to make sure you're in attendance of that. So if you have to leave the town council meeting early, I think that's reasonable. We won't do anything we shouldn't. If we're still meeting.
Okay. So we don't do anything illegal.
No executive sessions.
I promise that I do not intend right now to do anything. All right, I think that's good marching orders for you.
Yes.
All right, next item, G6 is going to be the new hangar construction.
Mr. Mayor, Council, this is just your kind of bi-weekly update where we're at with the hangar project. Obviously, the case hasn't moved a whole lot. We're in the phase between DD and CD construction drawings. And at CDs is when they will do their formal bidding process with subs. Right now, they're doing all their solicitation and preliminary bidding with subs. And it sounds like it's been very encouraging, multiple bids on just about every discipline. So that's good. There is some issues that I would like to address with the council and just figure out how we would like to proceed. Number one is I'd like to talk about schedule a little bit. I'm looking for the exact sheet that I'm asking you to be on. Okay. If you could, if you look on page 88 of your guys' packet, the GMP submission and approval is March 23rd to March 30th, which is the very end of March. And if you were to go to the next page, you'll see that the mobilization for site civil and beginning of civil work is March 30th to April 13th. In fact, getting on that civil work. The problem is we don't have a town council meeting for that approval to take place and for us to tell them go until after they're supposed to be fully mobilized and put to work. And so my question for you is, do I need to ask them to address the schedule to push it back, or is it something that you guys find dire enough that you want to call a special town council meeting for the approval of the GMP in the end of March? Right now, it would impact the schedule a couple weeks on the tail end of it, possibly, but maybe not. So it's a tight timeline between getting that GMP and getting them turned around into work.
I mean, my take is we keep the schedule, and if we need to call a special meeting, we just call a special meeting. So if it's needed and we see that we need to do it, let's just call a special meeting. And if we can proceed without it and everybody's comfortable where we are, and we can revisit that like on the 23rd, right?
Yeah, so the 23rd, I won't have the GMP yet. I'll have a pretty good feel of where things are going. I'll get the GMP that week, and then we won't have our next council meeting until April 13th.
I'm happy to call a special town council meeting. I don't want to have anything delay this project. So I think it probably makes sense to see the number together.
I'm with you there too.
It's going to be a big number.
It's going to be a big number.
Deserves its own meeting.
I think we should just schedule it.
Yeah.
Because we already know we're going to need it.
Well, let's just plan on it, Abe. Why don't you go ahead by the March 9th meeting? Let's go ahead and pick the date that we'll have that special meeting. So by then you'll have a couple of weeks to figure out plus or minus where it'll be.
Okay.
That work for everybody?
Yep.
Can I ask something?
Of course.
What's GMP?
Guaranteed maximum price. So
it will be no more than that.
So because we did what's called a CMAR contract, manager at risk, we went out and selected a partner earlier in the process. And we get to be part of all these design decisions, and they get to be part of the design decisions and help us kind of value engineer the project as it's being designed. When we get to 100% CDs, which is construction documents, they take it and they bid out to all of the sub-consultants and come back to us with the GMP and say, here is the final price that you will pay no more than this. And so that's the final contract price.
So we have moved forward without getting we don't have a fixed price right now. So, but the nice thing is actually it gives us the ability to change things quickly and respond. So I'm actually liking this process better than the other, to be really honest. But
from moving to work.
Yeah.
So we'll iron out some things that would have been big costs that would not have added a ton of value to the overall product. So I feel like it's been very.
I think it's been very beneficial, but yeah. All right. So we will do a special meeting for the GMP sometime around March. It'll be the 25th or something, the 30th.
Okay. The next question I have for council is Chief Cooper has indicated that to best benefit Sublette County, 70,000 gallons of storage water would be best out on that water facility. We wrote our grant to include up to 70,000 gallons. By code and by all the calculations our architects and engineers have made, the project only requires 50,000 gallons. We've had the CMAR contractors looked at what would it cost to go up to that 70,000 gallons. It's $22,000 difference in final contract price. I indicated I think that would probably be fine, but I also told them I would get the final decision from council to include a 70,000 gallon tank in design instead of a 50,000.
Everybody okay with an extra 22,000?
Yeah. 4.4 million.
Yeah.
Well, and I think, I go back to the mayor's minute, which we put in there. And I think it needs, and I purposely put it in the paper because I think people need to know is that by providing this, there are 750 county homes that will directly benefit from storage nearby, that their ISO rating could go down. And if you think about it, even if it was $100 a year that they drop, I mean, there could be thousands and thousands of dollars saved for the county residents, not for us, but an extra $22,000 so that carries out. It's just a no-brainer to me. I mean, I don't like spending money, but 50 to 70, 20,000 gallons could make the difference for somebody.
And we did talk at the last airport board meeting at length about, there was a lot of concern at the airport board about current need versus future need on the airport itself. And we did ask Wes about the ability to do inline tie-ins with additional tank storage down the road. And he said that was very easy to do. So I think the extra getting to 70,000 or whatever makes sense. And we are set up with that system to, if 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the road, we can add additional inline tanks pretty easily, was the impression I got.
Nice. As long as we're thinking about it now. Yeah. Right. Yeah, no, I think this is great. I think you and the team have done a great job.
Yep. Last one conversation I just had with you guys is we did submit that grant application. I know, Mr. Mayor, I don't know if you had an opportunity to speak with any of the electeds while you were down there, but where that's headed.
Not on this.
In fact, we're not going to get all of that request. We'll probably get some of that request. My challenge is remains the same of, do I go ahead? Well, the Rocky Mountain Power contract, I'm pushing as hard as I can to get that done. But the next question becomes that underground pipe work. We have indications from the local contractor that if you order the pipe in the next month or so, get under contract, it could be done in early summer. If not, that's a chance that he doesn't, that the materials aren't available until September, October. So I'm just trying to fight timelines. If I spend the money before we get the grant, I can't go get that reimbursement. It's how the MRG works. So the risk would be if we got awarded the full $742,000, then the $45,000 we spend on the underground three-phase power, I would not be able to get.
We will not. So right now in the state, they are going back to county consensus funding. The last discussion I had with the Joint Approps on Friday was that the Senate agreed to bump us up to 8% for the direct distribution, which would mean that instead of 130 million, we'll be making 150 million or 145. And they're all 145 million in the biennium for all the towns.
I understand.
And they're also agreeing to put 54 million in the county consensus funding, which I don't think anybody at this table other than Ed and I have done this, where money comes into the county and then we all decide together of how we're going to spend that $1 million. And it will be like, yes, this time Marvelton gets it, and next time Piney gets it, or so. But that gives us the ability to have money on a regular basis that could be maintenance, which so it's not MRG. And they are looking at putting more money in the MRG, but there will not be money in the MRG this fiscal year. So my recommendation is buy the pipe. We're probably not going to.
So I will complete a simplified procurement process by the next meeting so that we can March 3rd, get this heading in a different direction. It will not be part of the final contract in CMAR. And if we are awarded $742,000, which I think is a lot.
Well, we can tell them. I mean, it's an easy enough thing to say, look, we lowered this because we ended up spending X $1,000 for something because we didn't want it beyond you. I will parenthetically say that also the money that we requested for the governor's matching fund on Safe Streets has passed through the Attorney General's office. Everything's been there. It's now sitting in the governor's office. And I think we're going to get a favorable response on that. No promises until we hear it, but that's good. So Pinedale, we're doing a really good job. And so they really like the way we had a meeting with the 5, the slope. We didn't talk about our project, but they did say like towns like Pinedale, the way you're coming in and you have everything laid out and everything's planned. They like that. So yeah. Okay.
Master plans are not meant to sit on a shelf.
That's right.
Put them to work.
Yeah. So I think everybody's good with a special meeting for the GMP. We're all agreed to spend an extra 22,000 to increase our 70,000 gallons, and we're all agreed to go ahead and move forward on the piping early. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Fourth thing.
That's what I needed. Thank you.
There you go.
Proceed accordingly.
70,000 seems a bit small. 37,500. So.
All right, next item on the agenda is G7. This is the pathway connectivity project right-of-way acquisition of parcel 5. We have already done the acquisition of the previous 4 parcels. This is the remainder parcel that's right by Fox Willow Park Addition. It's described in there. It's going to be the little piece that cuts through there and goes right nicely into it. The price is $14,905. Is there any discussion or can I have a motion?
I move that we approve the acquisition of a permanent 15-foot right-of-way easement across a portion of Lot 4 of Fox Willow Park Addition to the town of Pinedale, as legally described in the easement documents and depicted in Exhibits A and B from Timothy M. Peters and Carla C. Peters for a total consideration of $14,905.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Castillo, second by Councilwoman Boyce to approve the acquisition of a permanent 15-foot right-of-way from Timothy M. Peters and Carla C. Peters for a total consideration of $14,905. Any comments other than I will point out that this has been a federal process and that price was agreed to through a federal government discussion price.
This comment, I never thought this was going to happen. I was just assured you would have to build it really like that.
Well, it was interesting because I was down again in Cheyenne and there was a whole discussion about eminent domain in water and sewer, and I was able to use this as an example. The last thing we want to do is eminent domain. And we've bent over backwards to avoid it.
Yeah, it's been a long process.
Yeah, I would agree. Good job.
It wasn't me, it was Kenny. He's got better charm than I do.
All right, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. All right, next item is the department reports. We'll go ahead and start municipal court, H1. And remind me, I need to talk to you about at some point. I gotta catch up. It's nothing major. Nothing. H2, animal control and municipal code enforcement. Huckleberry, pay attention. We started talking about animal control and we started making notes. Do you have a comment, Huckleberry?
Yes. Yes, no comment.
Does he approve of our animal control officer?
I need to name that street after him.
There you go.
Oh, that would be a good street.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a fantastic.
I thought I was making that up.
Adorable too.
He's like, I want to go outside now.
Got his attention.
Language.
We go for it now. So, anyhow. All right. So anything on code enforcement? Did we get the skunks that were supposedly next to my house? Okay.
Our neighbor's dog got skunked the other day, so they're around.
Okay. I haven't seen any, so my neighbor complained about it.
Moved. Here.
Yeah. Yes, of course.
Michelle does a great job. I mean, even if she's driving by my house and I wave to her, she'll stop and visit with me. She is on the ball.
Did she talk to you for a long time?
Pardon?
How many hours?
Does she talk to you for a long time?
No, she's
Okay, good. Okay.
working. You know, that whole, Girl Scout thing, all that stuff she took. I mean, I really admire her.
Yeah,
She always does a great.
she is an amazing woman. She really has. She does a good job, and she doesn't get a lot of gratefulness. All right, let's go into the Department of Public Works. Is there anything in here that jumps out at people that they want to? I did mention this is on side, but where I am waiting for an invoice discussion on hydroelectric dams. But that's not public works.
You woke up Huckleberry.
Hey, what would you like to draw our attention to?
I don't remember. I wrote this last week and
Look at you ahead.
Long weekend, huh?
You're like way ahead of it.
The one thing we did have a turn page with White on the street pedestrian project last week. I gotta say, everything we've asked for from White they're pushing for all of it. They love it. We have a new local engineer, resident engineer, name is Krista Coville. And she came on with White in December.
Pinedale Cobbles?
Yes, she is married to one of the Covilles.
Okay.
And she is a huge advocate for us. And she is pushing our master plan and our request very firmly. I mean, Chelsea was in the meeting. I was impressed. So we get to interact every 2 weeks with White House. She interacts daily with their design team, and there's a lot of that accomplished. And I was really pleased with the meeting. It took a long time to get through it. But they've done everything we've requested, and I really like the direction that's headed. Obviously, we'll see if we get the governor's funding. We're still working on the formal agreements to get in place. And I have not heard anything from this. Well, I can't say I haven't heard anything, but it's been a slow process through SS4A. I've now been invited to my second webinar, which is about the agreement. So the review of the draft agreement. So that's probably going to be a waste of my time. I'm going to send it to Ed and say, hey, the federal government wrote it, what he wants to do.
I was asked by a legislator if we could just go ahead and ignore federal mandates. So I think we should see if there's any ideas on that.
Yeah.
Our response was only if we could ignore state mandates too.
So that project is
Oh my gosh.
the biggest change in that project has been the discussion of going to a 2-year construction project. Fall of 27 will be utilities, summer of 28 will be all over the road. I think once we start to iron some of this out, our recommendation would be to WIDOT that maybe Krista and the town of Pinedale, being local folks here, that we start doing some public workshops on how we can best avoid major impacts to our local businesses, trying to make it as easy on them as possible.
It's gonna be rough.
It's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
I had a good conversation with Roy. It has to happen. We were at a basketball tournament together with our kids and ate lunch together, and started talking about this project. He's like, "Oh man, July and August is." That is what feeds these businesses. What feeds our businesses.
Exactly.
What feeds all these businesses. So any consideration would be appreciated.
Yeah, I just think everybody's just gonna have to be really patient, because we're gonna have to make ways for everybody to get traffic, which means it just might be uncomfortable for a period of time, but gotta keep the businesses open too. So
a couple of months to do to it.
Hopefully our businesses will help each other out, right? Those businesses that don't depend on foot traffic, that are more, legal and offices, maybe we can convince them to park another block away from their office for that summer, to leave that first block applying for more transient guests, or, maybe we can do some things to really team up together and make it better for everyone.
That's a good idea. 27 or 28.
The utilities would be fall 27. So like all the underground water and sewer, and then patch it all back for the winter and rip it back open. Those 20.
I was talking to Darren and told him his team was doing great.
Yeah, great. So then we did kick off wastewater treatment facility phase 1. We're still kind of waiting to kick off phase 2. We're trying to team up a site visit for for phase 1, and then do the meeting with phase 2 at the same time. Everything else is proceeding pretty well. I don't have a lot to report that's not written in there.
Okay, any questions for you? All right, that's Public Works as well. So that, your water and wastewater report. We haven't had any freeze ups, have we?
No freeze up underground this year. We have had 2 inside of buildings of just like it enclosed their crawl space, vents, or whatever the case may be, you know.
I heard somebody had a freeze up, I forgot what it was.
Not heard of any under, I asked the staff this morning, any underground freeze ups, and they have not been reported.
I almost wonder if we're gonna need to do another year of trial with the.
This isn't really like the best year.
Worst trial in 45 years. So.
She spoke about process this morning as well, and everybody on staff does not believe that frost is lower than 3 feet right now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I heard that 1981 was the last time that Fremont did not freeze.
Wow.
So 45 years of since a brutal winter.
That's great.
Of warm proportions. Like it's pretty crazy.
All right, any other?
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on.
We got
to
that done.
Airport report.
We did.
Anything on the airport report? The YDOT Aeronautics is finishing their a new annual. It's not an annual. Right?
By
Is it by? I feel like the last one, 5 years or.
They always call it a biennial when they do like sweep.
Yeah, it was like a couple of years. I feel like the last one's like
Maybe
more than. Anyways, it's coming. Okay. Moving forward, travel and tourism.
Yeah, you can see the 25-26 column. We're bringing in quite a bit of money, percentage wise. So
yeah,
we're looking to send Maureen and some folks hopefully to and a couple extra conventions to kind of. We are building a little bit of a war chest there.
So. Yeah, you just definitely like 20,000 to the good.
Yeah, that's awesome. To be fair, it does make up for the 20,000 to the bad back in August. So it just has taken some time to kind of work its way.
20,000.
Yeah, we've more than.
So you're 40,000 good minus 20. Yeah, right. That's awesome.
Which we think is still a snafu with timing. So from the county, but yeah,
that's great. Good job.
It's pretty easy just to.
Yeah, Maureen's in Cheyenne for some travel thing right now.
Yep. Yeah, she said she was at convention.
All right. It's just the
Governor's Tourism Conference. Yeah.
So the reason that we opted for that, aside from we've got a little extra money in that war chest, was because there are new Office of Tourism folks, like new people and new positions. And so it seemed like it was one of those, like, it might not be super beneficial money wise, but it's probably good relationship wise.
No, it's absolutely.
She brought it up. And I mean, honestly, as the chairman, I just said, yes, go, we'll get it cleared at the meeting. So we did. So she booked all her stuff and be a couple $1,000s, obviously, but a little shorter notice than what we would like, but we thought it would be beneficial. So
that's the other question you're asking.
Councilman, just a note, if this isn't on PTTC's radar, but the Wyoming Outdoor Trust Fund, they're going to start accepting applications within the next couple of weeks. It's for infrastructure. I think the grants will be up to $200,000. So if there's something of value that the council sees or the committee sees, it might be worth looking into.
You said the outdoor, what was it?
It's the Outdoor Trust Fund that they set up. They finally vested and they're finally getting to the point where they're gonna, and Mark Tesoro is on that committee. So just a heads up. Yeah.
Yep. The connection there. But yeah. Other than that, not too much to report.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Next item on the agenda is routine business bills. 23rd.
I move to approve the bills for February 23rd, 2026 in the amount of $139,295.46, paid with checks 32198 through 32241.
Second.
Moved by Councilwoman Boyce, seconded by Councilman Tasiba to approve the bills for February 23rd, 2026 in the amount of $139,295.46. Checks number 32198 and 32241. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries 5-0. Next item is payroll.
Move to approve payroll and benefits for February 28, 2026.
Second.
Okay, moved by Councilwoman Boyce, second by Councilman Kosilla to approve payroll and benefits for February 28th, 2026. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed? That motion carries. Next item is adjournment. It's 45.
I move that we adjourn.
I'll second that.
All right, moved by Councilman Swafford, second by Councilman Loftus to adjourn actually at 6:46. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed?